There's a loneliness that comes with arrogance, a coldness that pushes people away. You build these walls, thinking you're protecting yourself, but all you're really doing is keeping out the love and connection that could truly heal you. Your arrogance is like a mask, a performance you put on to hide the parts of yourself you're afraid to show. But deep down, you know that no mask can ever truly protect you. True strength lies in embracing your flaws, in letting people see you as you are, not as you wish to be. The more arrogant you become, the more you lose touch with reality. You start to believe your own hype, and soon the world you've built around yourself becomes your prison. Arrogance is a coy, and only humility can unlock the door. You stand tall, believing you are above everyone else, but you fail to realize that arrogance is a crutch, not a strength. It helps you walk through life without facing your own fears, but in the end, it will leave you alone and unfulfilled. Behind every arrogant word, there is a thought, a fear that you aren't good enough. You try to convince yourself and others that you're flawless, but the truth is, nobody is flawless, and that's what makes us human. You may think your arrogance makes you untouchable, but it only makes you vulnerable in ways you can't even begin to understand. The walls you've built to protect yourself are the very things that isolate you from the love and understanding you crave. Your arrogance is a facade, a defense mechanism against the vulnerability that you fear. But the truth is, vulnerability is where real strength lies. It's where true connection is born, and it's where love can finally break through the walls you've built around your heart. Every time you open your mouth, you try to impose your superiority on the world, but all you're really doing is hiding the part of you that's afraid, the part of you that is longing for love, acceptance, and the courage to show up as your true self. The more arrogant you become, the more you close yourself off to growth. Arrogance creates a barrier between you and the world, making it harder to learn, to evolve, and to experience the deep connections that are possible when you drop your guard. There's an emptiness in arrogance, a hollowness that can never be filled with pride or power. It's a constant battle to prove yourself, but the truth is, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You are enough just as you are. You think arrogance gives you control, but in reality, it's the very thing that is controlling you. It keeps you locked in a cycle of fear and isolation, while true freedom lies in the willingness to be humble, to admit that you don't have all the answers, and to let others in. Your arrogance may make you feel strong in the moment, but it only weakens you in the long run. It's a false strength, a fragile ego that can crumble the moment someone challenges it. True strength comes from a place of self-acceptance, not superiority. Behind your arrogant demeanor, I see someone who is afraid to be vulnerable, afraid to show the world their true self. But the truth is, vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a source of strength. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you open yourself to true connection and real love. You wear arrogance like a badge of honor, but it's a mask that hides the fear of rejection and inadequacy. The more you try to convince others of your greatness, the more you lose sight of what truly matters. The love and connection you could be experiencing if only you let your guard down. The more you speak with arrogance, the more you reveal your insecurities. It's a cry for attention, a plea for validation. But what you don't realize is that the true validation you seek comes not from others, but from within yourself. Arrogance is a shield that keeps you from truly connecting with others. It creates a barrier between you and the world, making it difficult to experience the deep, meaningful relationships that can only be formed when you let go of your pride. You may think arrogance makes you invincible, but it only makes you vulnerable in the most unexpected ways. The more you try to assert your dominance, the more you alienate yourself from the people who could truly offer you love, support, and understanding. Arrogance is a reflection of your fear. You fear being seen as weak, vulnerable, or imperfect. But the truth is, we all have flaws, and embracing them is the key to finding peace within yourself and connection with others. You strut through life thinking you're better than everyone else, but in reality, you're just hiding from the truth. Arrogance is a defense mechanism against the vulnerability that comes with being truly seen, truly loved, and truly understood. You're so arrogant, it's like you walk through life thinking the world revolves around you. You never stop to consider the feelings of others or the impact of your actions. But deep down, maybe that arrogance hides a fear of vulnerability, a fear of being seen for who you truly are. It's easier to put on a mask and pretend you've got it all together than to admit you might need help or understanding. In the silence between our words, your arrogance speaks the loudest. You act as if your confidence is unshakable, but in reality, it's a fortress built to keep the world out. You hold on to your pride, not because you believe in your own greatness, but because you fear being exposed as anything less than perfect. When you speak, it's like the world is forced to listen, even when you have nothing of real value to say. Your arrogance isn't just about thinking you're better than others. It's about believing you are the only one who matters. It's a lonely place to be, wrapped in the walls you've built around yourself. You walk into every room like you own it, as if no one else's presence matters. There's a certain power in your arrogance, but it's fragile, because deep inside, you know that true power doesn't come from dominating others. It comes from embracing your own vulnerability. Arrogance might make you feel invincible for a while, but it eventually catches up with you. The truth is, the more you push others away with your pride, the more you isolate yourself from love, from connection, and from real happiness. You act like your opinions are the only ones that count, like everyone should bow to your superior intellect. But what you fail to see is that true wisdom lies in the ability to listen and understand, not just in asserting your dominance over others. There's something tragic about arrogance. It's not just about thinking you're better than everyone else. It's about thinking you're the only one who matters. You build these walls, but behind them is a person who longs to be seen for who they truly are. Your arrogance is a defense mechanism, a shield against the vulnerability you fear. You'd rather push people away than risk being hurt, but in the process, you're denying yourself the chance to experience real intimacy and connection. I wonder if you know how exhausting it is to constantly maintain that air of superiority. Your arrogance may give you a sense of control, but deep down, it's just a way to hide your insecurity. You're afraid that if people saw the real you, they wouldn't like what they found. When you're arrogant, you forget that people see through the facade. They can sense the insecurity beneath the bravado. The more you try to convince them you're untouchable, the more they realize that you're just as human as the rest of us. You speak with such conviction, as though your words are the only truth. But the more you try to convince the world of your perfection, the more you lose touch with your own humanity. Arrogance blinds you to the beauty of humility and the strength found in vulnerability. There's a beauty in knowing that no one is perfect, and it's that beauty that you refuse to acknowledge. Your arrogance shields you from that truth, making you believe that if you were just more perfect, more powerful, people would finally see you for who you think you are. But that's not how the world works. Arrogance is the armor people wear to protect their fragile hearts. But no matter how thick the walls, they can never shield you from the truth. No one can truly thrive in isolation. You need people, you need connection, and you need to let go of the pride that keeps you locked in your own little world. Every time you speak, it feels like you're trying to convince yourself more than anyone else. Your arrogance is a reflection of your own fear that if you show your true self, you'll be rejected. But the truth is, real acceptance comes when you show up as your authentic self, not when you put on an act. It's a sad irony that arrogance often comes from a place of deep insecurity. The louder you shout about your greatness, the quieter the voice inside you becomes. The one that knows that true greatness is found in kindness, humility, and love. Your arrogance blinds you to the world around you. You're so focused on proving your worth that you fail to see the beauty in the people around you. What you fail to understand is that true greatness isn't about elevating yourself above others. It's about lifting others up with you. You act as though you have all the answers, but the more you speak, the more you reveal your lack of understanding. Arrogance isn't wisdom, it's ignorance disguised as confidence. True wisdom lies in knowing that there is always more to learn, always more to discover.